I don't want to let it go entirely, but you said the nationalization of America's insurance companies. Now, I don't necessarily disagree, and here's the headline from the New York Sun, which says exactly the same thing. America nationalizes AIG Group. However, what the government would tell you is that rather than a nationalization, this is a loan that, as our last guest said, the government might actually end up making money on if, in fact, they sell off the assets properly over a 2-year period. What say you?
Well, yeah, and if they don't, if they tried to sell them tomorrow, do they have a real asset by owning AIG stock? No, there's no real asset. There's no market. So, yes, we own it. The taxpayers own it, and it's not likely. It's conceivable, but it's still a ripoff. The taxpayer is going to suffer because it's the invisible tax of diluting the value of the dollar. Inflation is roaring back. It's here. It's going to continue. Just because commodity prices corrected a little bit, gold is showing its muscle, and energy is going to come back, and the cost of living is going to go up, and that is going to be a cost of all this. And because it's too tough to take the medicine we need, you can expect this bailout system to continue.
So how bad do you think inflation is going to get? I'm thinking back to the late 70s, which I remember when it was up to 15% or so. Interest rates were close to 20%. It took Paul Volcker to come in to try to squeeze the inflation out of the economy. It took about 2 years in a severe 2-year recession. Is that what we have to go through again?
I think it'll be worse than that because I don't think we're a productive economy anymore, and we were a creditor nation. Now we're a debtor nation.
Well, let me just stop you there again, Congressman, because that's when folks say, now, wait a minute, that's Ron Paul being Ron Paul. We are a productive nation. People are working harder than ever. They're creating new things. We have the computer revolution over the past 25 years, which has totally changed the way we do things and made us a much more productive society. When you think of things like farmers using GPS systems in order to grow crops better. I mean, so we are a productive society.
Yeah, no, we've done it on borrowed money. We had to borrow money for
it doesn't
everything.
Matter if we've done it on borrowed money. We still done it, and we're producing good things.
Yeah. But what about our steel industry and our car industry?
The steel industry has had quite a turnaround, Congressman.
Yeah, the manufacturing jobs have been down. They're down a couple million in the last 8 years. So, no, the manufacturing jobs haven't come back, and we run everything on deficit. It's sort of like arguing, I think your argument is similar, saying, well, the housing bubble, isn't there a couple of years ago. Everything's going well.
I didn't say that about housing.
I'm just saying.
No. I was being specific.
No, I'm just saying it's a similar. I say it's a similar argument for you to say, well, things look pretty good now in the general economy. But other people were saying in the housing industry, not too bad because we can borrow equity and we can keep this going. So
well, you really know how to hurt a guy,
Congressman.
I got to tell you.
That wasn't meant to be personal.
but the point, you understand my point, though, that fact that we really have created a lot of value over the past 25 years in a lot of specific things, like Silicon Valley.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's all a negative. I do think that is true, and that's probably been a saving grace. But generally, overall, for the country, it's sort of like me saying I've been wealthy because I could borrow $1 million a month from the bank, and now I have to pay back. The country has to pay back. We're in debt.
I agree.
And we are overcommitted, and the Congress runs up the debt and spends endlessly. Just today, it was incidental, but another $1 billion we're sending to Georgia. American people don't even know where Georgia is. And, this is going to continue on, and nobody cuts anything. Every
Absolutely, it just keeps going on and on. And Congressman, that's why we got to keep having you back time and again to remind people how the folks inside the Beltway misspend the money. We got to leave it at that, Congressman. Love to have you on. Thanks for being back at Scoreboard.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.